Est-ce que quelqu'un est en train d'utiliser l'Internet? Je vais voir là-bas si... Okay, many questions?
Francis, earlier we had body work exercises where the instruction was to be aware that the sensations of the body don't occur within a fixed boundary, that they're in the presence, and that that's our true body. And so when we have the instruction to be in the back of the head, it seemed like a step backwards.
Yeah.
Could you comment on that? I mean, it's like if I'm out there, why would I want to shrink down and localize into the back of the head?
Yeah. First, for our friends online, please send me a feedback if you have stops and goes about the quality of the image, because I have a few doubts here. Yes. That was an exercise which is addressing a specific localization in the front of the head. It's always the same principles that apply, but for this specific localization here, first step is to be aware of the back of the head, and then to see that there is no there are no boundaries there, and then you move to the space behind. It is usually more difficult to be expanded behind than in front of the torso or of the head. And then for the breathing, it's important also to breathe behind, so that
So, I mean,
the
how
rib
do you...
cage opens also behind and from the bottom up, so that we feel first the bottom.
So if there were the identification, if there were the spaciousness, then you have to kind of throw that out the window and relocalize? Is that... It just seems wrong. I'm confused by that. Why would I want to limit?
Not to localize as a person, no, not to localize consciousness, but to place your attention there. Just as if someone tells you, look there, so you look there. You say, look behind this tree. Although you don't have to move your head, but in your mind you focus on a specific location. In the internal landscape that presents itself to you, the suggestion is, look here.
Not to identify with that, just...
No.
Okay.
Look here. Instead of... And then, every time you notice that you are looking in front, go back. Keep looking there. So that's a concentration exercise. That's why I said, if you don't want to do it, don't do it. Basically. Yeah, that's what I said. And but it's a concentration exercise, the goal of which is to help us with this obstination of being in front of the head.
Thank you.
Actually, often the resistance, the unpleasantness we experience as we try to do this exercise is precisely this habit we have to identify in front. So when we try to break this habit, we experience, then there is a resistance. That's why to do this exercise requires to be interested. If we look for pleasure in the exercise, we are wrong. If we avoid the exercise because they are not pleasurable. On the other hand, if we make an effort, if it is a chore to do the exercise, it's better not to do it. So what is interesting is to do the exercise, although it may not be pleasurable, but with interest, being interested in seeing what happens, seeing how you can delocalize from there, get used to this new position which is very open, and then you can expand it to the entire back of the body using the breath. And then you can sit, and you are like sitting in a cloud. You see, you are completely relaxed, and then you can surrender all the arms, the shoulders, the legs, and you sit effortlessly. The body is alert, but at the same time transparent, without boundaries. And the breathing that takes place in this space is different. You can fine-tune it. You can control, micromanage it. You can have it very smooth and very slow.
Thank you.
You see, with the breathing, it's similar to what we do when we do this exercise, trying to make it as weightless and as transparent as possible. It's to gain control. If you need to have control of all of that, you will become aware of all the resistances that are subconscious. In the same way, that's one of the reasons why there is this breath control in pranayama. If you try to make the breath very smooth, and very slow at the same time. You are going to get a control of all the muscles of the diaphragm and the intracostal muscles that regulate the breathing. And the thing is, in order to control this muscle, you need to be acutely aware, in fact, of them. Now, if there are subconscious contractions there, as we become acutely aware of them, they come out, and by trying to make it as smooth as possible, they will relax this contraction, this identification with the breath. So that's a general idea, actually, of pranayama, is to purify the way we breathe from the residues of ignorance, from the residues of fear, of identification with the breath. It's all about identification. Identifying with the front, this part of the head, identifying with the breath, identifying with the solar plexus and the center of emotions.
Thank you.